and welcome to Literary Hype. I am Stephanie, your literary hype woman, and today's author conversation is someone you probably know from TV or from movies or from their restaurants. You might know Danny Trejo from a lot of different ways, but he's also an author. He has 2 cookbooks and a memoir out, and I got the chance to talk to him about books and tacos and writing while at Fan Expo Chicago of 2023. So without any further ado, here's my conversation with Danny Trejo. We're going to talk about some books.
Okay. Which one?
All of them.
Okay.
All of your books. So you do have 3 books.
Yeah.
2 of them are cookbooks, and then 1 is a memoir.
The cookbook made #1 on the bestseller, and it was funny because Donald Logue came and told me, "Hey, your biography made #2," and I said, "You mean it took a crap? What do you mean? I didn't know what he meant." No, it did really well. Oh, okay, so found out what #2 was.
So kind of talk about how you approach these different kinds of books differently. They're very different in how you read them, so how do you approach them differently for writing?
It's like, first we just started cooking and doing a lot of the stuff that my mom used to cook, you know, and in the 50s, lard was like a big part of cooking, you know, and greasy, so we had to pull that out and start trying to make it a little healthier, and we accomplished it, you know. And I think when we were talking, it's like I work with autistic kids, and doctors have said autistic kids don't do good with gluten, so let's have a gluten-free menu. So we had a gluten-free menu, and then Los Angeles we have a vegetarian and a vegan, right? And so we did really well. Our vegan, we have a cauliflower taco that's made 4 Yelps or 5 Yelps every year. I mean, just whatever that means, but it's done really well. And then we have a jackfruit that they gave it to me when they first got it, and I ate it. It was delicious. I thought it was shredded beef. This is really good. Where do we get this beef? It's not. It's jackfruit. So we've got that. So we have a variety of food, you know. And if you come to our restaurant like 4, 5, 6, you'll see parents there with special needs children, because some of them are gluten-free, some of them are vegetarian, you know, and mom doesn't have to cook 3 meals, you know, so it makes it really well.
I have been to your restaurant, and it is delicious.
Oh, thank you.
What is your secret to a good taco?
You know what? It's like, first of all, love. I mean, you gotta love cooking. You gotta love tacos. I love tacos. I think tacos are I don't know what you call it, but you live on tacos. You know, depending on what you put in them. I always, it's like I'll roll up anything and put it in a taco. You know, I used to think when I was little, my grandma would get like a hot dog and roll it up in a tortilla, corn tortilla, and it was a hot dog. That's the first time they gave me a hot dog with bread. What is this? You know, I didn't. And so, and then you can deep fry the tortilla and the hot dog. So, you know, you just experiment and do whatever you want to do, and what comes out, if it tastes good, awesome. And name it and eat it.
What's your favorite recipe out of your cookbooks?
Well, you know what? I love fish, first of all, and I love the Baja fish taco. That's the one that's my go-to. I love fish, and so I'll go with the Baja fish taco. And then I found a restaurant in Boston, and they asked. I was trying to figure out what this is. How about a grilled cheese with lobster? You know, sounds good. So they gave me a grilled cheese with lobster, and it was delicious. So I said, how about a grilled quesadilla with lobster? So
fancy.
Going into my restaurant, the quesadilla with lobster.
It's so fancy. So your memoir has been out for a little while now. What's the response been so far from readers who've kind of delved into your story?
I've had people just come up and thank me for being so honest that they had that same thing happen in their family and it tore their family apart, and the book was real healing for them, and it was real healing for me too. It's like I hadn't talked to my mom for years, and then Max and Mario, we lived right down the street, and they started being friends with my mom, and they were my best friends. So all of a sudden, me and my mom got back, and so it's that thing that's it's in the Bible, I think. Let who is without sin cast the first stone. You know what I mean? How can I, condemn my mom for what she did? She escaped my dad the only way she could. I escaped him the way I could, and so it's like it's amazing the way it worked out, and we became really close. And my son called me on his birthday because he went over to my mom's, right? And I talked to her for like a half hour on the phone. I was in London. 3 days later, she passed away. So I wouldn't have got to talk to her if my son. So the way things work out, and she just, I love you, Mio. It was a really warm, and I remember, Lord, thank you. Thank you for that.
So what was the hardest part of writing a book for you, especially your memoir, when it's so vulnerable?
Well, you know what? First of all, they wanted me to write. They would send me writers. My agents would send me writers. And, but, it's like, I don't use words like prolific. It's a bunch, and they would come out with, I would say something and it wasn't right. And Maeve, my kid's mom, Gilbert's mom, he's the kid with the red hair. His mom read it and said, this is like talking to you. This is like you talking, So, and I said, well, yes, me and Donald been doing it. So I think the hardest part was finding somebody, that could get my words. And me and Donald have been friends. I met him in 1991 at the the Drug and Alcohol Center in Santa Monica in Hollywood, and most angriest kid I've ever met in my life. And I said, hey, how you doing? He said, what do you care, man? You don't really care. Why you ask? I looked at him and said, no, I want to kill this kid. I said, hey, have a nice day. And then I kind of forgot about him. And then I run into him again in a movie we were doing called Reindeer Games with Ben Affleck. And we became very, very close because he was going through a big thing with his wife. He had to come up here and they just had a baby and she was mad because he was leaving. But sometimes you got to go to work, you know what I mean? and so, but we became really close.
What do you hope people get out of your book and your lasting legacy is with this?
Well, you know what? My legacy is I just want my kids to just be okay. My son's so damn smart, and I stopped arguing with him when he was 5, because I'd walk away saying, bad dad, you're a bad dad. And but I kind of just hope that they see that, hey, no matter how far down the scope you think you've fallen, once you hit bottom, only way you can go is up, and that's what I know, and I hit bottom, and only where I could go is up. And I think I dedicated my life to helping other people, and I honestly believe that's the way the good Lord wants us to live, just helping each other.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Danny for taking time out of his convention schedule to talk to me for a few minutes before he went back to signing autographs and taking pictures with fans. It means so much to me that he was willing to have this conversation about his books, which are so good. Tacos are so good. Definitely check out those links below to get your hands on those cookbooks and his memoir. You definitely want to check these out. And don't forget to click on that like button while you're down that side of the video, as well as subscribe to the Literary Hype Woman channel if you have not done so already. Click on the bell, turn on your notifications. It's a good time around here, y'all. You never know who's gonna pop up on Literary Hype. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.